So I'm going to say something that's probably going to piss a lot of people off, but hopefully it helps you start to get out of your depression. Depression is selfish, but it's not in the way that you think. It kind of is. Depression does make you selfish. It does make you, focus on yourself, only think about yourself, not really help other people. One of the reasons, and again, this isn't a judgment, but I say this is going to piss people off because they're not going to let it in. They're not going to really understand what I'm trying to say. But again, this is all to help you. Like, the reason I'm saying this is to help you. It's not to piss you off, right? But maybe it'll piss some people off. It isn't necessarily, depression isn't selfish because you don't help others or you're not trying to live a life to, help others, even though that is the case, because usually when you're depressed and you're in a lot of pain, it's very hard to help others. But that's not what I actually mean. When I say depression is selfish, it's because it's self-centered, it's self-absorbed, and you're focused on yourself too much. That's what I mean by depression is selfish. Because when you start to become more selfless, it doesn't just mean you help other people more, right? That's the typical kind of understanding of selflessness. But selflessness is actually also about having less of a self, focusing less on the self, having less of a story about the self, just diminishing the self. And this is more actually spiritual, questioning what even is the self, right? This idea, what is the self? Your self is just thought-based. It's just thoughts, beliefs, ideas about yourself, who you are, what's happened to you, what you're going to do in the future. And if it's a depressed self, then it's got a negative flavor to it. It's got a negative flavor to it. Oh, the future's not going to be good, and this is going to happen to me, and it's not going to be good. Or this is going to continue, this bad thing that I'm going through right now, or this depression I'm going through is going to continue to happen to me, the self. Or, I'm judging myself too much, or, I hate myself, or, I don't like myself, or I'm not confident about myself, or, I don't like the emotions I'm feeling right now. The thoughts I keep having in my head are putting me down, right? Or the bad things that have happened to you in the past. Now, look, don't get me wrong. I'm sure that there's been bad things that have happened to you in the past. And for some of you, it's been really bad. And I'm sorry about that, Even though I don't know you, like, if I knew you, if I was speaking to you here right now, I'd be sorry about that, But at the same time, what I'm trying to talk about here is the self is a constructed thing in the mind. It's thought-based. It is not physical, right? Your body, this world, feeling, senses, that isn't the self. The self is thought-based. It's like a conglomeration of ideas, beliefs, thoughts. It's in the thought realm, right? If you want to call it that. Now, the reason that you're depressed could be many different reasons, could be tons of different things. But one of the core things about being depressed is that you are heavily in the self, right? And you're really in the self, you're thinking, you're self-centered, your main point of focus, your main orientation is the self. And what I'm trying to say is, if you decided, and I'll share how, but if you just decided to stop focusing on the self, not even trying to get rid of your depression, you don't even try to get rid of it, you don't even try to feel happy, right? You're not trying to improve yourself. You're not trying to develop yourself, heal yourself, right? They can work, they can help, but the teaching I'm trying to share right now is, again, it's not about improving, developing, healing the self. It's actually about removing the self. It's diminishing the self, and what is left isn't depression. What is left is life. What is left is living. What is left is energy. What is left is consciousness, awareness, but not just a peaceful kind of calm consciousness. It's just more life when you start to diminish the self. So that's my claim here. Depression is selfish because it's self-absorbed, self-centered, self-orientated, too much. You can still be selfish, you can still be self-absorbed. So am I. You're not going to get rid of it completely unless you go real hard on like spiritual development and awakening. But even then, I know people that claim to be awakened, that claim to be very, enlightened, and I think they're telling the truth. They still have a self, but they are wrapped up in the self a lot less. And the shift I've had recently, and I'm not claiming to be enlightened by any means, I'm just an idiot on speaking to a camera, talking about my experiences. I am not enlightened. I have, I've realized certain things about reality to certain degrees that, maybe some people would say is like kind of on the path to enlightenment, but I am not enlightened. I'm just a normal guy. However, the diminishing of the self has been happening in me recently, where it's not like my self has gone away. I still believe I'm Josh, I still go about my life as if I'm a self. However, I'm way less wrapped up in myself. In fact, a lot of my focus now has been going into the world, into my senses, into hobbies, into living my life, into recording videos like this. In this video right now, I'm more in the video instead of in my head, in my thoughts about me, right? When I'm with other people, I'm not as much thinking about myself in the interaction, or even before, if I'm meeting new people, I'm not as, trying to prepare to be this perfect person because I'm focused on myself. I'm just focused on the fact that I'm in this moment right now. I'm going to meet new people. I'm kind of excited or I'm nervous, but I'm not making it a story. I'm not feeding into the story. I'm not trying to work out how to be a better self all the time. I'm not trying to overthink myself or judge myself or analyze myself or beat myself up because I haven't lived up to certain expectations of myself. That is going away quite a lot recently, and I'm diminishing the self. And as a result, I feel more alive. I enjoy my life way more. Way more. And so what I'm trying to say is, if you're depressed right now, really take an audit. What have you been thinking about? What is the percentage of your thoughts that is about you? And not, you don't have to calculate it. You're not going to be able to calculate it perfectly. But just the general vibe of it, the general idea. Are you mostly thinking about yourself? Even when you're thinking about others, are you thinking about how that has had a bad effect on you? Or, even if you're thinking about others and maybe how you want to be better for others, but you're kind of then judging yourself for not being better. It's sneaky. It's sneaky. Or maybe you're blaming others. Maybe you're saying other people don't want to help, or other people don't care about me. Do you care about other people? Have you reached out to someone else recently to see how they're getting on, instead of expecting other people to do it to you? You probably haven't, right? You're probably in a self-centered headspace. And again, this video is not to make you feel worse than you already do. I do not want you to go away from this video feeling worse about yourself and continuing to judge yourself even more. That's the opposite of what I want. The opposite of what I want is for you to go and start feeling even worse than you already do. But the truth is the truth, right? And sometimes you can't sugarcoat the truth. The truth is that a lot of people, and I don't know you specifically, but I would hazard a guess that if you're depressed right now, you're probably wrapped up in the self too much. And so the way to get out of that is by starting to engage with life, with other people, with situations, with hobbies, with passions, with things that you want to actually do in your life. You got to start doing things that you've been putting off. You've got to start really engaging with life, like living your life. Just draw the line in the fucking sand and don't wait to live your life anymore. Or don't say there's no point to it anymore. Or don't fucking believe the bullshit that the self is telling you, that there's no meaning or there's no point to anything. Or, I'm not good enough right now to do the things I want to do. Fuck it all, man. Just do it. Just say, fuck it. It's bad enough anyway. What is there to lose? What is there to lose? There's nothing to lose. It's already fucked. What have I got to lose, man? And you just start doing things that you've been putting off. You do the things that scare you. You take some risks. All of a sudden, you might feel a bit scared. But it's better than feeling depressed, right? You start feeling a bit scared. Oh shit, I'm doing shit that I'm scared of. Oh, this feels risky. Good, right? Feeling scared and taking action anyway, that's living life. That's that adventure. That's that, whoo, okay, shit. Oh no. Oh, Jesus, what's going to happen here? Let's find out. Let's find out. Instead of, oh, no, there's no meaning or life shit. Like you've already got all the answers. No, let's find out. Let's find some answers. Let's go seek. Let's go live my life. Let's go engage with the world, with my senses, with other things that are in this experience other than my thoughts about myself and about my future and my past. That's just one part of this experience. The other parts of your experience is that you can feel, right? You can hear, you can see, you can smell, you can taste. You can engage with other people. You can engage with animals. You can engage with life. You can go fucking touch the grass outside. You can feel the sun on your face. You can ride a bike. You can drive a car. This is a 3D, 4D, whatever you want to call it. This is a really detailed video game, right? So engage with it. Go do the things you're scared of doing, that you've been pushing off. Go live your life. Go do that one thing that you just know deep down, even though you're depressed, you just know if you did it, that your life would get better. Go do that. Go engage. Go do shit. Engage with life. Start to tap into your intuition. Start to act from your intuition, your instincts. Start to rely way more on your instincts and your intuition than your thoughts, because right now your thoughts have been corrupted. That's why you're depressed. The self has been corrupted. The self is a corruption in a lot of ways. You start to do things, feel, instincts. You go out in the world. You engage with life. And this starts to diminish the self. Then, on top of that, you start to question what this is, what the self is, and you start to deeply question reality. But you don't question in a way where you already have the answers. You genuinely question to try and figure it out. Right? If you're like, oh, life is meaningless, life is pointless. How do you know that? You don't even know what this is. What is this? Oh, it's life. What's life? Oh, it's a human experience. Is it? What's a human experience? Oh, it's like neurons in the brain firing off. Is it? What is that? Oh, it's blah-de-blah-de-blah. It's quarks and energy at the subatomic level. Or, it's quantum mechanics. Okay, well, what is that? Right? Science just keeps going. It keeps pushing it off, right? A lot of people are going to be science-minded, right? It keeps pushing it off. What's this? What is this? Well, what's that? What is this? What's that? And then you get to the end and you say, well, what is that? What is, quantum mechanics? Or what is a quark? Or what is a string, string theory? What is that? Well, we don't know. We don't know. So instead of thinking you've got everything fucking figured out, that you've got all the answers, and that the answers are negative, that it's pointless, like question, okay, you think it's pointless. How do you know that? If you don't even know what this is, this experience we're in right now, nobody has a fucking clue what this is. Not a Scooby. No one knows. You do not know what this is. So how the fuck do you know that it's pointless? What is pointlessness? Really? What is pointlessness? You can't even fucking tell me because you don't know. And I'm not saying you don't know and I do. I don't know. But that's the difference between me now and me in the past, is I used to think I knew all of this stuff. And when I was depressed or when I'm down, I used to think I knew that it was shit. Or I knew that, it was solid. Oh, why is this happening to me? It's a solid, this is a bad situation. I feel bad, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't genuinely question, is it actually bad? What is bad? What is depression? You have these ideas of you're depressed. What is depression? Oh, you feel bad. Okay. What if you felt bad? What if you felt these sensations in your chest and your stomach or whatever, but you didn't add the label depression? What if you had the same emotions, the same feelings in your body physically, but you didn't create a story around it? Would that be depression? Or would that just be sensations? I bet you've never asked that question. But as soon as you ask that question, now you're genuinely in the mode of seeking the truth. Like you're just on a truth-seeking journey. You want to try and figure stuff out. You want to know the truth about the situation instead of just pretending like you already know. So it's kind of two sides of the coin. I call this the coin philosophy. This is, the name I've given it so far, the coin philosophy. One side of the coin is deep contemplation, questioning reality, really trying to seek the truth, because the truth often will set you free. And also, it's just the fact that you don't know, and so just stop pretending like you do. All of a sudden, that not knowing, there's like, even if you type in not knowing, spiritual not knowing, there's like a deep kind of like practice of not knowing. Not knowing allows you to diminish the self, get rid of the self, and be in this moment to try to become aware of what it is, right? So it diminishes the self. And then the other side of the coin is what I call idiot maxing. Getting rid of the self, doing things in the world, doing the main things, doing the things that scare you, doing the things that you just want to do, living life, engaging with the world, and stop being up in your head. Like, be an idiot, be a kid. A kid isn't depressed because they're in the world, they're engaging, they're playing, they're going out with friends, they're doing cool stuff. It's very rare for a kid to be depressed. And if a kid has been depressed, it's usually either, deep trauma, or they've taken on the adult way of thinking. They're up in their head. Instead of being like a normal kid where they're in life, in the moment, engaging, living. So ultimately, depression is selfish because it's self-centered, it's self-absorbed, it's self-orientated. Too much. You can be selfish to a degree, but the more selfish you are, the more you suffer. The more of a self you have, the more you suffer. The more focused on yourself you are, the more you suffer. And also, the more you're suffering, the more you focus on yourself. So it's challenging, but it's doable. Like, usually when you're in pain, you focus on the self. But when you're focused on the self, you cause more pain. So you need to break the cycle by just engaging with the world. And then once you start to engage with the world, do the engaging first. Take action, go live your life, start doing things you should be doing. And then after a week or two or a few weeks of doing that, then start to use the other side of the coin, which is contemplating reality, deeply questioning life and reality and consciousness and what this is. But don't do that. I would recommend doing the idiot maxing, going, taking action, living like an idiot, not being in your head, just living in the moment, doing things you want to do just because you want to do them, right? Do that first and then move over to the deep contemplation. And that way, you can stop feeling depressed. Now, I do understand that, like, you may do that and you may still feel depressed, right? I don't have all the answers. Like I said, I'm not claiming to know everything. I'm not claiming to be enlightened. I'm not claiming to know exactly how to get every single person out of their depression. What I'm claiming is depression, most of the time, means that your psychology is self-orientated. If you diminish that, you will be less depressed. So go just test it out. Don't believe me, just test it. Next time, and also just look in the past as well. Look at your life. The moments where, because when you're depressed, it's not like you're depressed all day, every day, right? Sometimes it depends on the depression, but it's moments of depression, right? Throughout the day. When someone's depressed, it's the moments are frequent, but it's not every minute of every day. So in the moments you're not depressed, notice what's happening. Start to notice that. When you're not depressed in the day, notice what is going on in that moment. I can guarantee you, most of the time, you're in the moment, engaged with life, and you're not thinking about yourself. Whether you're with friends, or you're doing a hobby, or, you're even on your phone, or you're watching a film, right? There's better ways to go about it. Hobbies, socializing, they're the best ways really to go do it. Like, actually pick up a hobby that you really enjoy, do it as much as you can. Actually go socialize, meet new people, socialize with your current friends. They're going to be the best ways really to, like, get out of your head and into the moment. And then, like, different types of meditation and stuff like that. But that's really, like, they're going to be the moments that you notice, oh, he's right. He's right. All of a sudden, when I'm at work and I'm just in that task, I don't even like work that much, but when I'm in that task, all of a sudden, I'm not depressed. Or when I was at home and I was playing video games, I wasn't depressed. I was playing the video game. I was so in the video game that I wasn't depressed for that moment. Or when I finally met up with my friend and we were just talking and we were chatting and we were just shooting the shit. Oh, I wasn't depressed that moment. Oh, connecting the dots. So go out, test it, and also just start to try and notice in your own life when you're depressed and when you're not. And start to see, does it have something to do with being self-centered, being self-absorbed? Basically, focusing on the self, thinking about the self. And I guarantee that a lot of it will be. And so, yeah, that's why depression is selfish. Again, I'm not judging you. I recorded this video to help you out. So hopefully you can go off and you can get the ball rolling. All right. See you soon. Peace.